In the cursed town of Derry, Maine, evil never dies, it simply sleeps beneath the surface, waiting for the next breath of fear to awaken it. Derry had changed over the decades, new faces, new homes, new smiles, but underneath the fresh paint and clean streets, the soil was still rotten. Because Derry's heart had always belonged to something else, something ancient. When the red moon appeared again after 27 years, the air turned heavier, the nights longer, and the shadows deeper. No one said it out loud, but people felt it. The dogs stopped barking after sunset, the drains made noises like whispers, and every mirror in town seemed to breathe. It all began with a boy named Matty, 12 years old, full of curiosity, and brave in all the wrong ways. He was obsessed with old horror films and spent his weekends sneaking into abandoned places around Derry to record ghost videos for his little YouTube channel. On one rainy October night, Matty entered the Capitol Theatre, a forgotten building that had been closed since the 1960s, ever since 3 kids vanished there during a late-night screening. Matty never came back. The next morning, the police found only his flashlight, still glowing weakly in the dusty aisles, and a single red balloon tied to the armrest of an old seat, as if someone had left it there to mark his grave. The theater smelled of rust, old blood, and something sweetly rotten. And on the silver screen, smeared in crimson letters, were the words, "IT Lives." At first, people thought it was a prank. But then, strange things started happening all over town. Matty's best friend, Teddy, began hearing static-filled whispers on his walkie-talkie at night. A child's voice, Matty's voice, whispering, "Come play in the dark." Lily, the smartest of the group, kept finding a red balloon tied to her bedroom window. She cut the string every time, but each morning, another balloon appeared floating silently in the mist. And Phil, the quiet, nervous one, began to dream of a crying baby under the old storm drains. In his nightmares, the baby had wings like a bat, and when it looked up at him, its eyes weren't human, they were bottomless. The kids tried to tell their parents, but adults in Derry never listened. They never did. So, the 3 friends decided to find Matty themselves. They gathered flashlights, a map, and courage, though courage means nothing in Derry. The Capitol Theatre loomed like a skeleton of a memory. The doors creaked open with a groan that echoed like laughter. Inside, the air was thick with dust and decay. The kids' flashlight beams sliced through the darkness, illuminating torn seats, broken popcorn machines, and faded posters that still clung to the walls, smiling faces of clowns that seemed to move when you looked away. Then, without warning, the projector flickered on. A cartoon began to play, cheerful music, dancing clowns, children laughing, but the animation started to twist, melting into distorted faces, eyes bleeding black ink, and then Matty appeared on screen, screaming. His face pressed against the inside of the film as if trying to escape it. The projector's light flared and something crawled out of it. It wasn't Pennywise. It was something worse. A demonic infant, small and winged, its skin gray and wet, its eyes like holes burned into the world. It hovered above the seats, dripping thick black tar onto the carpet. When it opened its mouth, 1,000 voices screamed in unison, laughter, crying, whispers, all at once. The lights shattered. The walls pulsed. And the friends ran. They fled into the storm, rain slashing their faces as thunder roared. They didn't stop until they stumbled into an old military bunker near the forest's edge, a place that shouldn't have been open. Inside, the power still hummed faintly. And waiting for them was an old man, Major Leroy Hanlon, pale, shaking, but alive. He'd been expecting them. Hanlon showed them a file, yellowed and stamped with the red seal, Project Mirrorfeed. He explained that back in the 1980s, the government had discovered something strange beneath Derry, a field of electromagnetic energy unlike anything on Earth. They tried to study it, to weaponize it, to control fear itself. But the energy wasn't random. It was alive. Hanlon's voice trembled. We thought it was radiation. But it wasn't. It was hunger. He told them that whatever lived under Derry wasn't just a clown, or a ghost. It was a parasite that had existed before the world was born. It fed on terror, shaping itself into whatever its prey feared most. It didn't just haunt Derry, it was Derry. And now, it had found a new shape, the child from Phil's dream. As Hanlon spoke, the lights flickered red. The bunker's walls began to drip with blood. A siren wailed, distant yet impossibly loud. Outside, the storm intensified, and the kids heard Matty's voice echoing from the drains, "Help me, down here." They ran again, chasing the voice through the rain until they reached the old sewer tunnels beneath Derry. Flashlights flickered in the fog as water dripped from the ceiling. The tunnels were alive, walls breathing like lungs, shadows moving without light. Then they saw it, a massive web-like cocoon hanging from the ceiling, bodies wrapped tightly inside. The air smelled of rot and ammonia. Inside one of the cocoons, Matty. His chest rose weakly. His eyes were glowing white. The demon infant crawled from the shadows upside down along the wall, its wings spreading wide, its mouth splitting into a grin that stretched too far. It whispered their names in Matty's voice, one by one, as black slime dripped from its teeth. Teddy swung his flashlight, striking the creature's face. It screamed a deafening, metallic wail that cracked the tunnel walls. A wave of slime burst from the ceiling, splashing across the floor. The creature's wings spread, slapping against the stone, sending shock waves through the air. Then Lily remembered Hanlon's words, "You can't kill it, but maybe, you can starve it?" She dropped her flashlight, trembling but defiant. She closed her eyes. She thought of her happiest memory, her father's laugh, sunlight, safety. She stopped being afraid. The monster froze midair. Its grin faltered. It screamed again, weaker this time, like static fading away. One by one, the others followed Phil, Teddy, closing their eyes, pushing back their terror, starving the creature of its only food, fear. The tunnels shook violently. The cocoon split open, spilling black tar and blood. Matty fell into Teddy's arms, gasping for air. The creature twisted and melted, its body collapsing into a puddle of smoke and bone. Then silence. When they woke, sunlight was spilling into the tunnel. The storm was gone. Derry looked calm again, too calm the way a wound looks before it scars. Matty couldn't remember much, only darkness and laughter. But as they walked back through the streets, past the drains still slick with rain, Lily stopped. Her eyes widened. A red balloon was tied to a gutter, swaying in the morning breeze. And from deep below, echoing faintly through the pipes, came a sound, a child's laugh. Soft. Playful. Endless. Because in Derry, evil never dies. It just waits for the next red moon.